Donna Gail Manson was born on June 9, 1954 in Auburn, Washington, USA. She was a daughter of Marie and Lyle Manson and had a younger brother named James. Donna and James grew up in a very musical household. Both of their parents were musicians that performed in the Seattle Philharmonic Orchestra for 2 years. For a few years their mother Marie taught music in the Bellevue School District. She was also choir director at Auburn First United Methodist and was involved with the Bell Choir for many years. Their dad Lyle was a music teacher for schools in Seattle. Donna shared her parents' passion for music and played the flute for many years. After graduation from Auburn High School in 1972, she took off for Europe with her boyfriend. Then she attended Green River Community College. Before going to university, she worked shifts at the End of Trail store. In 1974, Donna was on her first year at the Evergreen State College and her major was portals, which means personal options reaching towards effective learning skills. Her tuition was paid by her parents. She lived in C Building and since January she shared a room with a girl named 𝘿𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙉. From October to December 1973, Donna shared a room with a girl named Andrea, who moved out because they had a completely different lifestyles. Donna had a best friend named Megan Ellis who also lived in Building C. They attended classes together and went out together socially. Megan recalled that Donna wasn't in a good spirits on a week before her disappearance because she wasn't sure about this school and didn't know whether to stay or leave, but according to her she was coming out of it pretty well. Donna struggled with depression and anxiety, but she worked very hard to overcome these problems. She was a loner, but had a few friends and was a very likable person. She was a free spirit. Sometimes she hitchhiked to nearby towns. However, it is not known what Donna thought about this means of transport. According to some of her friends, she liked doing it and was never afraid of it, but her best friend Megan said that Donna didn't like doing it by herself. She experimented with drugs and was interested in alchemy, death, and other unusual topics. The last time Donna was at her family home was on the weekend of February 23rd to 24th. She was accompanied by her best friend Megan Ellis. On February 28th, her parents received a letter from her, and on March 11th, 1974, they talked to her by phone for the last time. During that call they were planning to spend Donna's spring break at the beach, and according to her mother, Donna was in a very good mood. On March 12, 1974, Donna planned to go to a folk dance class at the college activity building. Later, at 8 p.m., she planned to go to a jazz concert that was to be held on campus. Before leaving the room, Donna seemed hyper-focused on her appearance. According to her friends, she changed outfits several times, but didn't say a word about meeting anyone or going on a date. This behavior may have actually suggested that Donna was going to meet someone, but her previous roommate Andrea testified that when they shared a room, Donna kept changing her clothes and couldn't decide what to wear almost every day. In this case, this behavior was normal for Donna and didn't necessarily constitute a date. When she finally left her dorm at 7 p.m. she was wearing a red, orange and green striped top with green slacks, black fuzzy maxi coat, oval-shaped brown agate ring and a 𝘿𝙊𝙉𝙉 watch. Donna didn't come back to her room that day and no one recalls seeing her at a folk dance class or a jazz concert. She disappeared without a trace. 6 days later, on March 18th, Donna's roommate 𝘿𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙉 called the police. She didn't report Donna missing right away because she often hitchhiked to nearby places and could disappear for several days. Her friends believed this also happened this time, even though Donna always told someone about her trips. 6 days later 𝘿𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙉 started to worry, so she called the police. When the search for Donna began, the trail was already blurry, because in cases like this 6 days are a very long time. It was also difficult to interview potential witnesses because all students went home for spring break. Donna's parents Lyle and Marie were very worried when they found out about their daughter's disappearance. They highly doubted she left for a trip by herself, because of the phone call they had with her a day before she vanished. Her mom said she was in good spirits and didn't mention anything about going anywhere, while she always informed them about her trips. The theory that Donna had voluntarily fled the campus was ruled out because all of her personal belongings were left in her room. No notes or letters were found to explain her disappearance. Whenever Donna left, she always took her pack sack, camera, and flute with her, and all these items were still in her room. All documents, letters, and notes that were considered potentially containing relevant information were included for further examination. A missing person teletype was sent out on Donna to Washington, Oregon, and California. On February 8th to 10th, Donna and her friend Jan went to 𝘿𝙉𝙉𝙉𝙉, Washington to visit old school friends from Green River Community College. When Jan heard about her disappearance, he thought that she might have gone there again. Because of that, Donna's dad and Jan went to 𝘿𝙉𝙉𝙉𝙉 on the evening of March 20th. They contacted Donna's friends, who assured them that they had not seen her, had not heard from her, and had no idea where she might be. Sheriff Detective Paul Barcliff described Donna's disappearance as suspicious, but noted that there was no indication to suspect foul play. Despite that, he said, "We never can be too careful. Anytime a young girl is missing for more than few days, it's time to start working on the case, trying to determine her whereabouts." Using tracking dogs, search teams combed the 990-acre campus. The area was searched 4 times by volunteers. Up to 200 people took part each time. A brushy area around Evergreen State College was also searched for clues. Despite the enormous involvement of investigators and volunteers, no trace of Donna was found. In April, after returning from spring break, Donna's friends and members of the faculty offered $500 reward for information leading to her whereabouts. Also, because they were back from the spring break, Detective Barcliff could finally interview Donna's friends on the college campus, and Donna's parents have hired detectives to help in search. One of Donna's friend Robert said he saw Donna on the day of her disappearance around 3:30 and 4 p.m. She was by the pool table in her dormitory talking to a young man he didn't recognize as a student or having seen before. It later turned out that Donna told about that man to Megan. She stated that he had bothered her and had an encounter with her another friend. Megan mentioned this in the letter to Donna's mother. She wrote about her concerns about Donna's fate and promised that if she didn't return after spring break, she would organize a search party with her friends and teachers. Megan also mentioned in her letter that Donna might have gone out with someone she had just met and didn't like. "I will do all I can for Donna, as she is one of the loveliest people I know," Megan wrote. Donna's parents received the letter on March 28th, and the part about a strange man worried them. Donna's dad immediately called the police, who then contacted Megan Ellis. She testified that Donna told her on the evening of March 12th that she had previously met a man at the pool table who was bothering her. The threat of the unknown boy talking to Donna on the day of her disappearance worried many people, but he was questioned by the police and his involvement in her disappearance was ultimately ruled out. Clayton Sturgis, a security guard at the university, said he saw Donna walking around campus many times before at night. On the evening of March 12, 1974, he was on duty and believes he saw her walking up and down CNN Road 3 times. He testified that at approximately 8 o'clock or 8:30 a.m. he was driving north on the CNN and saw Donna walking south. He went and checked some of the buildings in the area, and about 30 minutes later he saw her again, but this time she was heading north. He continued to the security office and about 30 minutes later headed north again on the CNN and saw Donna again walking south. In his opinion, she looked like she was waiting for someone. "I'm pretty sure it was her," Clayton said. In June 1974, parallels began to be noticed in the case of Donna's disappearance and the cases of 4 other disappearances of young women, Susan Rancourt, Georgianne Hawkins, Roberta Parks, and Linda and Healy. None of the girls said anything about leaving, they did not take their luggage or ID and disappeared late in the evening. The women were all between the ages of 18 and 21, 5'5" to 5'4", and went missing during the evening hours. The same person was found to be responsible for the disappearance of all 5 girls. It was believed that this person dumped the bodies of his victims in garbage cans in the mountains. A new lead emerged in the summer of 1974. It was a man named Ted who approached young women and had his arm in a cast. He was first seen in February on the campus of Central Washington State College, just an hour before Susan Elaine Rancourt disappeared. Then in July he was seen at 𝘿𝙊𝙉𝙉𝙼 State Park when Denise Naslund and Janice Ott disappeared. One of the more unique theories at the time was that the women were being abducted into a slavery ring. The remains of some of these women were found on Taylor Mountain in March 1975, but Donna's wasn't among them. There was no progress in Donna's case for several years. It was only in the summer of 1978 that there was a chance to solve the case. On August 29, 1978, two fishermen discovered a human skull at the base of Mount Rainier. Following additional searches, clothing, hair and additional remains were recovered. There was an indentation on the skull behind the right ear that could have been made by an object such as a hammer. Tests showed that this was the cause of death. The clothing found with the remains reportedly was similar to that worn by Donna, so it was suspected that the remains belonged to her, but unfortunately it was impossible to confirm her identity because the remains were destroyed and X-rays and additional documents related to the case were lost during a routine purge of the county sheriff's office. Jane Doe from Pierce County is described as significantly taller than Donna. She was 5'7" while Donna was only 5 feet tall. Because of this, the remains were most likely not hers. Many other deceased and unidentified women were suspected of being Donna, including Jane Doe of Rockingham County and Jane Doe of Newport News, but Donna has not been officially identified to this day. In 1978, serial killer Ted Bundy was caught. He confessed to 30 murders committed in 7 states between 1974 and 1978, including Washington. Bundy confessed to Donna's murder shortly before his execution. During an interview with Robert Keppel, Bundy stated that he left Donna's body on Taylor Mountain, in the same place where police discovered the remains of Brenda Ball, Susan Rancourt, Linda and Healy and Roberta Parks. Bundy said he buried Donna in a slightly different place than the other victims and that they would never find her skull because he burned it in the fireplace at his girlfriend Elizabeth's home and vacuumed up the ashes. However, this testimony cannot be confirmed. It is rather doubtful that the fireplace could have reached a temperature high enough to burn the skull, so either he was lying or he actually tried to burn it and failed. Although Bundy indicated the general location of her remaining remains, subsequent searches of the area turned up no traces. It is not known how Donna's kidnapping and death actually happened. The most likely version is that Bundy kidnapped her while she was walking to the college activity building using his modus operandi, which was pretending that his arm was broken and asking young girls to help him carry his things to the car. In many cases, Bundy strategically parked his car in quiet areas, which would fit the path Donna had to take that evening. This ensured there were no witnesses and gave him time and space to hit the victims over the head with a crowbar and abduct them. According to this theory, Bundy did to Donna what he did to the other victims, hit her in the back of the head with a crowbar and drive away with her. But if the security guard was right and the girl he saw was actually Donna, then the previous theory doesn't fit the development of events. If it was her, what was she doing on the road at night? She could have made an appointment with someone in advance and waited for that person to pick her up. She could also be trying to hitchhike. Donna's father Lyle passed away in 2007 after prolonged battle with Parkinson's, and her mother Marie in 2014. This month, March 2024, marks 50 years from Donna's disappearance, and to this day her remains were never found. Donna died on March 12, 1974 at the age of 19. If she was alive, she would be 69 years old today.